What you drinking, Jim?
Welcome to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. Jason, John, and Mike, and we are joined here once again with friend of the show, Jim Isphording. Jim, how's it going?
Oh, just preparing for the big snowstorm, Jason.
Oh, that's how we started off this last show, Mike. You Marylanders don't have a whole lot to talk about, but when it snows, holy hell, let me tell you. It's like, anyone that's been to Ocean City, New Jersey with me, so Jim, Mike, you guys know that like the families, when a parking spot empties, like opens up on the street, everyone goes ape shit, like, oh my God, get the keys, got to move the car, there's a spot. That's how y'all are when we're talking about the snow.
Oh, yeah. Yep, everybody's all excited. The grocery stores are empty. You can't find bread or milk anywhere.
Oh my goodness! You got to make that stuff yourself. So that's a whole different subject. Okay, Mike. Mike, what's going on in your world?
I told you, I wasn't lying to you guys. There was no bread, and that was Wednesday. And I'm sure, Jim, you had the same experience I did. You go to the store, and it looks like you take a little nap on the bread aisle, on the shelving units, because there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's like what happens to like why is bread and milk the first ones to go? I don't understand. But
that's what I was saying to Julie today. I was like, does everybody just eat bread and drink milk when you're in the snow? Like, I think of all the things in the freezer we have, and I'm like, I think we could eat some other things. But bread and milk, we don't have that. We might die.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the doo-doo paper and the and the paper towels and all that stuff. That stuff was like gold during COVID. So you know that like how all that goes and the Clorox wipes and all that. But milk and bread, I don't get it. I don't get it. John, is there something you wanted to add there, my friend?
Well, like in Minnesota, it's when there's a big snowstorm, the liquor stores are empty. There's food on the shelves. There's food on the shelves in the grocery stores. But generally the liquor stores are empty. But like what I don't understand is like bread is not like incredibly healthy for you. So be like, I would think, man, you got to go grab like all the Slim Jims or all the beef jerky or all the protein that would like enhance your life and enhance your body and be better for you. Because bread isn't that good for you.
There's a ton of vegetables and fruit. There's a ton of that.
It just doesn't make sense to me. If anyone out there that pays attention to this shenanigan display, whatever this show's called, please tune in. Let me know why bread and water. I think we all know why toilet paper. It's because you have so much bread in your system that you have to somehow get rid of it. I guess I don't know. It's got to be something related.
Well, like mayonnaise sandwiches. I mean, you don't really need refrigeration from butter and mayonnaise sandwiches. It'll fill you up for a while.
That's true, Mike. He makes a very good point. You don't need a refrigerator for mayonnaise.
Butter, I think, does. I'm pretty sure butter should be refrigerated. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Just put it outside.
Overnight.
It's cold outside. It's not like here. Like it's a hurricane. We can't like remove things from the refrigerator. But all you have to do is take it outside, set it out in the snow. It'll stay cold.
Yeah, we'll be okay. I mean, I have a grill with some propane. We can cook some things. Like we'll last for a little while up in here. I mean, I don't have a generator. There's one of my cousins was saying how he has 3 generators and none of them work, and he's so glad he bought them for the snowstorm. I'm like, it's perfect, just like my snowblower.
Wait, he recently bought them and they don't work?
No, he just said we were talking tonight. He's like, hey, I got these 3 generators. I was really excited. I went and looked. None of them worked. None of them worked at all.
That sounds like potential user error.
Yeah, right. Well, he is related to the Friskies, so
fabulous. All right. Well, we digress. Just to give you guys kind of a rundown, ironically enough, that's actually one of our segments, but the of what we're doing here tonight. We are going to discuss the NFL playoffs, who we think is going to be in the Super Bowl, fellas. Also, Jim is here mainly because I wanted to get the perspective of all the shenanigans with the hiring process in Cleveland and what's going on. I need to hear it from the horse's mouth, hence why Jim's here. We're also going to go a little O's. We're going to play a bunch of games, and that's about it. So, kicking this off, let's talk about, I guess, anything new, Mike, since I don't think anyone's been hired since we had our predictions. Oh, I lied. Mike McCarthy, hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Threw me for a loop, Mike. You had mentioned that as one of like the candidates there, but you didn't really. I think you agree with me that you thought it was going to be Shula as well. It just doesn't fit the mold, but okay. Everyone that I know that's a Steelers fan seems to be happy.
Mike McCarthy, I mean, could he be reunited with Aaron Rodgers? That's the question, and I'm curious as to why they strayed from their pattern, like you said, Jason, of hiring young coaches in their 30s with the defensive mind, because they went the complete opposite direction with his hire. And I really think Pittsburgh is tired of having a lackluster offense. I mean, if I'm being honest, look at what they've done over the past since Ben Roethlisberger. They have had really, running game once in a while, which is why they've been making the playoffs here and there. But they have not been a serious Super Bowl contender. Maybe one season in the last decade. That season, they lost to, who was it? Jaguars in the AFC Championship game. That might have been the only season where they were a real competitive team. So I think maybe that could have been why Mike McCarthy is the answer in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like Jim, you being a big backer also of the AFC North. What are your thoughts here? I mean, does that hire really scare you? Because as a Ravens fan, it doesn't scare me very much.
No, not at all. I can't believe that was their hire. I was shocked. I thought they would go a different direction. I thought Mike McCarthy would be, a candidate that, a team that has only had 3 head coaches in the last 55 years or whatever it is.
And its existence.
I never saw them making I like to call it a mistake, but it's a happy mistake for me being a Browns fan, because I feel like that's going to set them back.
I mean, even if he's successful, for how much longer? I guess he's not old. I don't get this idea that he's like super old, but I mean, John, if you're going to go offense, why not Clint Kubiak?
Right. That's what I think. I mean, I talked to my brother-in-law, who's a huge Steelers fan, and the Steelers Nation is upset. McCarthy is the same age as John Harbaugh. They're both 62. But yeah, the Shula hire made them going back. The Shula hire makes the most sense in the way that they've hired, their past 2-3 coaches overall. So it's a little bit out there, but I think they may feel the need to get an offensive spark in there. But again, then why don't you hire a younger guy? Well, because I think they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers around another year, and Rodgers is comfortable with McCarthy, and that's probably the game they're playing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jim.
That has to be the reason why, because I can't see any other reason why you would go with him over a younger coach. I look at McCarthy and I think Packers. I don't think Dallas. But, I think a lot of his success there was because of the quarterbacks he got to coach. But then he goes to Dallas and throws a goose egg up with Dak Prescott. How long was he in Dallas? Do we know?
2020 to 2024.
And how many wins were there, Mike? Do you have his record there?
Let me see.
He's a 600 win percentage for his career. He's got like 170-ish wins, I think. The guy wins football games a lot more than he loses. It's
43 and 25. 43 and 25.
It's not too shabby, but again, he didn't win the big ones there, right? Like he didn't win the important playoff games. He didn't really have them in that type of position. I see. I have a hard time thinking that it is Rodgers related, because at best, you're going to get one more year out of Rodgers. So maybe they want him to come in and be in control of the next quarterback that they pick and groom that guy and kind of design an offense around him. That's the only thing I could think. Somebody with some experience. I don't know though. I like the Clint Kubiak thing for me. I might have answered my own question, because I do wonder if a lot of teams think he can't be that like figurehead of a team, that he's not outspoken enough for that. But I mean, there's still jobs open and plenty of that to go around. Anything else
looks
there?
like, I mean, it just looks like he's a Pittsburgh native, right? Like he was born in Pittsburgh, and I think he went to Pitt. So I mean, there might be just some ties there as well. And like you said, there is a track record of NFL success with Mike McCarthy. I think, again, it's all dependent in Pittsburgh upon what they do with the quarterback position over the next 5 years. So all of that will be determined, head coach or not, on who their signal caller is.
Yeah, and then hopefully they, even that, their defense needs to get back to what it was previously. Now, what changes on the staff? New defensive coordinator. Like, I'm assuming they'll give him the opportunity to bring in his own people. Under McCarthy, I mean, Dallas had really good assistants, and I mean, I believe they're head coaches now. Oh man, I can never remember this guy's name. The guy in Washington that was with the Falcons, and before that was Seattle. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Dan Quinn.
And then also Kellen Moore. He was in Dallas, and now he's a head coach. So he does bring in guys that know what they're doing on that side. Now, I believe his last year in Dallas, he was calling the plays, and that was just, I think, out of necessity. It was not ideal. So I'm assuming he will turn that over to somebody else. But I really don't care what the Steelers do. I don't care how they do. I just thought it was interesting. Not a scary hire for me. I'm okay with it. The Steelers do enough to scare me as it is. But okay, so let's talk about tomorrow's games. Originally, before these playoffs started, the Rams were my favorite to win to make it to the Super Bowl. But I am the biggest Seahawks fan possible, because I'm on Team Mike McDonald. So I would love to see the Seahawks make it to the Super Bowl. And then on the other side, Denver, oh boy, without a quarterback against the Patriots. So, Mike, I mean, not so exciting AFC game, but I do think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people might think, because I do think that Sean Payton is going to make the tweaks he needs.
Yeah, old McDonald had a team, EIO, with a sack here and a sack there. The Seahawks, man, their defense is nasty, and I really love what Mike McDonald has done, and what he's done is built a complete team, honestly. Sam Darnold isn't something special at quarterback necessarily, but he's solid. And I love how they brought in, what's the guy from the Saints they brought in as the kick returner? Shaheed, is it? Shaheed. And he has really given them a spark as like a deep threat and as a returner. And so special teams, offense, defense, they're a well-rounded team. Jason, I also picked the Rams as my Super Bowl pick. And so I'm not going to stray from that, because I think they're also a very solid team. But I do worry that they're able to get out of Seattle unscathed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stick with the Rams because I picked it. It's not who I want to win, though, and I don't mind being wrong. I'd be just fine with that. Jim, what are your thoughts? All kinds of shenanigans going on there.
Well, hold on. I went back to my notes here back in May, and I picked Denver. I think I picked Denver. Everybody was laughing. Everybody's laughing. No way. But I picked them. Not only did I pick them, I have a future bet on them. So once Bo Nix went down, I was quite unhappy. I cried a little bit and in a dark room. But once I get over that and I realized there's no way they're going to go to the Super Bowl now, I like the Patriots to win. And I'll tell you why. I think they got the best coach. I think they got the best quarterback. And that's what it takes to win. I think you can argue Stafford and the Pats would be the best Super Bowl. I think it would be. from an offensive standpoint. I think they would just go back and forth. And if Seattle made it, I think it would be less exciting, more of a defensive battle. So I kind of want it to be the Rams in the pack. Patriots at this point, I think the Patriots are going to win.
It's interesting because all four teams that are there, I mean, I believe all four of them, now they're not like the top four defenses in the NFL, but they're top defenses. So they can all get after the football, get after the quarterback, cause problems. And it's not, to me, it is not a coincidence that these teams find themselves there. John, your thoughts on these two games?
Well, teams I picked are all gone, so.
Of course they are, John. That's okay. We don't bring you. We only bring you in for your good looks. We don't bring you in for your knowledge of football. It's okay.
Thank you. No, I like the Seahawks and the Patriots. I think, Bo Nix less Denver doesn't scare a lot of people, and I think that Drake May and the way I'm very impressed with the way that Mike Vrabel has, got that locker room around him and has kept them all intertwined, interconnected, and put a heck of a product out there on the field. So I think their Super Bowl is probably going to be the Patriots and the Seahawks. I think Mike McDonald is going to come up with some pretty good schemes against Stafford. And Stafford's a good quarterback, but I think defense wins championships, and I think he's going to bring out some things that maybe we haven't seen yet from his defense this year.
Well, remember, Seattle's got the best, I mean, in my eyes, the best defense left, the best wide receiver left, interesting running game. So to me, I mean, there's no reason why they can't. Okay, I probably shouldn't say the best receiver. I mean, Puka and him, if you guys went stat by stat all year long, there's like 1 and 2, 1A, 1 and 1A. All year long, as far as the impact they had for their teams. But Mike, is there anything Jared Stidham can do outside of essentially being Jesus and walking on water tomorrow? Let's put it this way: is there anything Jared Stidham and Sean Payton can do to win this football game?
Yeah, not lose it. I don't think that. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't think Jared Stidham has to have like an MVP performance. I think that defense in Denver is a little underrated too. They're very good. And, if Denver can, and they have the home field advantage, it's hard to play at Mile High. And again, you were talking about Seattle having the best this and that. How about the best home field advantage in football, maybe with the 12th man? But anyway, back to Denver. I think, if they play solid defense and they don't turn the ball over, they just are going to need some key plays from Cortland Sutton. They're going to be able to run the ball. They need to get RJ Harvey to get some chunk plays, maybe in the out of the backfield in the passing game or break off some runs, and then just not turn the ball over. If Stidham can be steady, they'll be in the game because their defense will keep them in the game. However, May is better. So it's really, I think that the Patriots will win, but I don't think it's not going to be a close game.
I think the issue for me that I'm admirable, I do think it'll be closer, but I do think that based on what happened last week and Denver's defense still obviously playing against Josh Allen, if you look at Josh Allen and Drake May this year, Drake May's been better than Josh Allen has, right? So here's my only thought is Bo Nix had to win that game last week. He had to put them in a position to win that game in many different ways. I don't think Stidham can do that if he has to come back. You basically said it. You didn't think he just can't lose it. I think that they may put him in a position where he may have to make big plays to win, and I'm just not sure if he can do it. So that's where I am. I mean, I think Patriots Seahawks is what I would want, I guess. I mean, I don't really care who wins the AFC, but I would love to see the Seahawks. I do think the Rams, though, I have to stick with my original pick. It makes me look smart, and I need that, Mike. I could use that. I could use that win, guys.
Pick me a little win.
You don't think Stadium could be another Nick Foles?
No, I don't, because Nick Foles had many games. Like so when Wentz got hurt, there was still games leading up where Foles could play. He could get his sea legs under him. Stidham's going in right now. he hasn't got hit all year. So I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I think he's a comparable quarterback as a backup. I don't mind that pick. But Sean Payton, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of a wizard. So we can. I'd be interested to see.
Defenses have won championships before, right? Raven fans.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
That's why I was so upset last week because my bet, Jim, was with the Texans and the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I thought that the Texans would, but their quarterback turned the ball over 4 times. See, Trent Dilfer never did that. So, yeah,
that was my lock of the week last week. I lost all the others, but I won that one.
Nice. Fantastic. Jim texted us. We were in a group text. We're all talking about our bets and whatnot. And Jim's like, I was 6-0 last week, guys. Should follow me. He's, what were you? 1-3 this week or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I did say at the end after what Drew said, I was like, well, maybe don't follow me if I was 6-0. I'm due for some losses.
Well, it'll make you feel better that after our conversation, I did put money down on your bet just because you're hot streak. So I lost all my bets, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Did you say just because he's hot?
Yes. He's fantastic. Hear what you must. All right. Now let's get to the main topic here, guys. So, Jim, what in the hell is happening in Cleveland? Like, I mean, we got coaches turning down like second interviews. We have. I heard on the Rich Eisen show that Pelissero was saying that coaches have to write essays for that. Explain the coaching shenanigans out there in Cleveland.
Well, I mean, you're still living off of Paul DePodesta's
that's right.
His little 10-year analytical dream. So apparently that's what they have to do. They have to go through personality tests, essays, questionnaires, and that's just to get to the second interview. I have no idea. The Browns are the Browns. I think that's what everybody says, right? Isn't that what you guys say? Browns being the Browns. I mean, they never surprised me. We've made some of the most ridiculous hires out of left field that nobody saw coming. So is this going to be another year where we do that? Yeah, because why? We have the craziest owner in the NFL. That's why. Crazier than Jerry Jones, I think, at this point. You could say that with all the bad trades, hires. I mean, say what you want about Kevin Stefanski. He was able to run a good locker room, come up with a good game plan. I wasn't the biggest fan of his because I thought he wasn't a good in-game coach, and I think that's caused us to lose a lot of games. That and bad quarterback play. But I think he was pressured to make some of those trades, pressured to get quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders, which is why we're in the predicament we're in. So I think if you have the 32nd best quarterback in the league to look forward to coaching, are you going to want to coach there? Are you going to want to be the next coach of the Cleveland Browns? Not if I'm Jesse Minter. I'm going to cancel that because the Ravens just offered me a job. Not if I'm Shula because I don't want to waste my first experience coaching, being a Browns head coach with that kind of team. Even if you do have a ridiculously great defense that probably would have been number one last year if their offense didn't put them in precarious situations all the time. So are they dropping the ball left and right? Yes. I mean, I think they're the one positive part of this whole thing. I think they are taking their time with this. I think they really want to get it right. That's how I'm feeling, at least, where I'm staying optimistic in this. Even though they haven't meant the Rooney Rule yet, I don't even think they brought in a minority hire yet for a second interview or in-house. I think they're holding off on Nathan Shieldhouse. I think that's their number one guy. I think that's who they want. And you know what? I can see the Browns just hiring him and not meeting the Rooney Rule and just taking the fine or something. But
didn't they bring in Mike McDaniel for one interview because he's a minority?
They didn't bring him in. I think they did a virtual interview, but you have to bring him in for it to count.
Yes, John, I can see you're going nuts up there. He is a minority. He's a mixed fella. If you want to,
I was looking that up real quick because I was pretty sure he was minority.
Yep, he's a minority candidate. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious with that one, Jim. I think for me, it's so there's a lot going on, right, in everyday people's lives. But to be an NFL head coach, maybe being someone that just lost their job or has to relocate and you're worried about where you're going to live and you do this, hey, I got to sit down and write this essay real quick that the Cleveland Browns asked me to write. It seems a little much. And Mike, I know you're a big fan of the GM out there, but to me, that seems kind of bush league, kind of high school to me. That they would want to do that. You know, I get the analytical approach, but there's other ways to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you are not the right Myers-Briggs personality test, I guess you can. You're not an ESTJ or whatever. You don't have a chance in Cleveland. I don't know. It does seem a little like resume-y, kind of just like paperworky. Like, I don't know how many people that are employers read those things a lot of the times. I'm not saying that they can't help paint a picture of a potential candidate, but like, I think the bottom line is when you meet with somebody and you have conversations, you can kind of see where that person wants to go. And in the NFL, I think that's probably the bottom line, Jim. I think you would agree. So I don't know that it's a bad thing, but I don't know that it's an important thing necessarily either. So I'm not going to knock that. But like you said, Jim, it's not an appealing job because of the quarterback that's in place. However, I do think Andrew Berry has drafted really well. I think you look at some of the draft picks from this year, Schlesinger. He's a great linebacker. He's awesome. You got Judkins, who you're going to build. Hopefully he comes back healthy and can be your running back in the future. On top of, I think they had the tight end Fannin was awesome. They had a bunch of great draft picks they hit on this year. So as far as maybe getting the groceries, Andrew Berry seems to be doing a decent job recently. And again, you have Myles Garrett. He probably is the best defensive player in football. It's not like there's nothing there in Cleveland to build on. It's just a matter of how important it is to have your quarterback. The same thing I said about Pittsburgh. So I do think, though, Jim, you're right that they're waiting for one of these guys. And Shieldhouse seems like maybe the guy who's still coaching right now. And so they're being patient and allowing the process to take place. The Ravens didn't have that luxury because I feel like they wanted Jesse Minter. And as soon as someone else said they wanted Jesse Minter, they knew they had to act. And, Lock and Flora was getting on their rear ends for not doing their due diligence and getting all these candidates involved in the search. Well, at some point, you do 20 interviews is pretty good. And then you take the guy who's available and not wait and get lost in the shuffle because you got to get your guy if you think you have your guy.
Lock and
exactly.
Flora.
Well, and Mike, let me tell you this. You know where you're going to find berries? Berries in the fresh produce aisle of the grocery store.
Wow. You know what? I was about to – good heavens. I was about to ask you like a legitimate question. And you just ruined your time. You really just did. No, look, before I ask Jim another question here, John, you have two friends, I think, on this earth at least. And one of them, I think, has to be like a Cleveland Browns fan. What have you heard from your circle out in the Midwest-ish about these type of practices and whatnot?
Well, I talked to my dad about it, I don't know, not that long ago. And he's just like, what coach wants to be here? Like you said, where are you going to want to go as a coach? You're going to want to go somewhere with Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or you're going to go somewhere with Shedeur Sanders. As you're going through your interview process, like what I'm thinking is okay, I'm asking questions as a coach who's getting interviewed, is saying, is our quarterback room here, is it stuck, or can I bring somebody else in who I think can help this team win? Because if Cleveland had a guy like a Trent Dilfer with Judkins behind him, and that defense, you just don't turn the ball over and put the defense in terrible situations, that could be a very, very good football team. And I think as a coach going in there, you're going to be looking at a ton of film of Sanders and Gabriel and whoever else they got on the practice squad and saying, okay, out of the guys I got in here, is there somebody who can game manage, or is that going to be somebody we're going to have to bring in from the outside? And then what are we going to do with, this whole quarterback room? And I think that's as a guy going in there for a coaching interview, those are the questions that I'm going to have. That if they offer me the job and they're not willing to adapt, I'm not going to go.
Well, so that's a good point, John, because Jim, one of the things so they turned things over to Flacco, hoping he could be a game manager, and we're just not at that point, right? I mean, he's past that prime. He's been past that prime for a while in my eyes. However, why weren't they in the Sam Darnold sweepstakes? And take your game manager up a notch in my mind, right? Like a guy that if you have a defense that's that good, unless they didn't realize the defense was going to be that good, like you need to not make mistakes. You need to load up. You don't have to have a great offense. You just need to have an offense that's not going to make mistakes. Like Mike said about Denver, you're not going to lose the game. So for me, they should have been out there looking for a quarterback, even if it's not long term. They should have been in sweepstakes like that where because it didn't call. I mean, I think Darnold ended up signing a pretty lucrative contract, but get a guy like that and then still draft someone.
I don't think they ever. I think they always thought in that draft they were going to draft their quarterback for the future. I heard rumors that they wanted Jackson Dart and didn't think a team like Giants were going to jump up and grab him. I just think they messed up the whole process. Picking Flacco was a security blanket because of what he did for us the prior year, and how successful he was. And they were always looking at him as a transitional quarterback to whoever they draft. But, when the draft started to take place and it got to the third round and they still didn't take a quarterback, I thought, no, there's no way they're thinking of drafting a quarterback now. Not that there are any that are left that I thought would be a good fit for us, but they had other ideas. So I mean, I hear you. It's frustrating when you look at somebody like Sam Darnold who's having so much success. I got a buddy who's a Viking fan that can't even watch the game. He's so upset that they gave away Sam Darnold and kept JJ McCarthy.
Well, I've kind of been a JJ McCarthy backer a little bit because what's he played now, guys? Like 9 games in the NFL. Yeah. I'm willing to ride that out a little bit. I don't know if they are out in Minnesota. But one other thing I wanted to say here, too, before we move on, is there's only 32 NFL jobs, okay, head coaching jobs. So it's great that people want to be on their high horse, say, I'm too good to go to Cleveland, or I'm not going to go to Cleveland. I'm going to go be offensive coordinator. Guys, if you're a coordinator for a team and all of a sudden you guys have a bad year next year, you're out of the running again for a head coaching position. They're going to overlook you. There's only 32 positions. It's your opportunity to have the confidence to turn a franchise around. Jim, those are the guys you need to find. Those are the guys. Is it McDermott? Is it Shieldhouse? Is it Webb? Is it Kubiak? Whoever it is, and then that's what you got to sell it to. Unfortunately, your ownership seems to just want to get in the way. Sounds like, to me, Mike, it sounds like the GM should be pitching this opportunity.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I like the McDermott idea, Jason. I think we bounced that around the other day. Just having somebody who's come in. Buffalo hadn't won in 17 years. When McDermott came in there and turned that bad boy around. And how attractive are you if you can go into Cleveland and make that a winner? I mean, I'm talking about obviously beyond what Stefanski did. If you can make that a legit like AFC championship team, like you're going to have another job. I know, Jim, you don't want to hear that. You're going to have another good job waiting for you in a year or two.
Well, yeah, but no, sorry, Jim. Like if you take McDermott though, and it's like, I mean, he turned Buffalo around. Buffalo was a crap hole when he got there, right? Maybe not as bad as the Cleveland situation, although you have one side of the football that's elite, like we've been talking about. So to me, it might be a good possibility. Go ahead, Jim.
I just feel like the Browns are always 1 year short of what we really want. It's always like, well, if we would have fired Stefanski last year, we would have gotten Vrabel, or, like there's always that coach that I would just die for, and that's not out there this year. There wasn't one coach that's out there this year that I'm like, oh, that's the coach I want. It's definitely not John Harbaugh There's definitely not anybody in our division that I want to coach the Browns just because it's a rivalry thing. I don't think they want to be on the Browns. But you know, McDermott, sure, that'd be a great fit. I think he's a good CEO coach. I want that. I want a coach that's not just offensive minded or defensive minded, but team minded and can lead our locker room like I think Vrabel can, McVay can, like Mike McDaniel can. Like those are the coaches I want, not just a guy in here to change an offense around. I don't want that. We can hire an offensive coordinator to do that. You know, um, I mean, I like the idea of hiring an offensive coordinator if we're going to hire a young coach, but I also want somebody that can change a locker room.
I think you're right. It's not about winning a Super Bowl right now. It's about changing the culture to a winning culture. And you know what? You're only a couple years off of that. You had a winning culture. You had a two-time NFL Coach of the Year. I mean, that doesn't come around. That award, and Harbaugh didn't win that twice. It doesn't happen to everybody. So the culture isn't too far off, Jim. Don't be sad, Jim. There's still time. I have faith. I have faith. And maybe some will happen, Your Honor. You'll have to sell the team or something. But anyway, moving on. Mike, you have a segment for us. You have the rundown. If you would like to explain it to everyone.
I do. I have the rundown where I go through some of the current events that are going on in the current sports world, and I ask you guys for some quick answers to some questions regarding those events. So, Jim,
hear that, John? Quick.
Jason, you will give me a quick synopsis of the question when you have an answer. All right. So, Jim, the first one's for you. I'm going to start with you, and Jason and John, you're going to get a different variety of this question. Okay. Fabulous. Jim, if you were the Browns GM, what is the one move that would most make you a contender in the upcoming season? The one move.
Somehow, and you're talking like realistically or fantasy?
You can whatever whatever it needs to be.
I mean, I would somehow, some way, get the first pick in the draft. Whether it's trade Myles Garrett, 3 first-round picks, whatever it takes to get the first-round pick, move up 6 spots. I feel like Oakland's weak. They'd be willing to do that for the right price. Hey, here, Myles Garrett, 3 first-round picks. Where do you want 4th? You want 4th round? Sure.
Whatever you want. Like it, Jim. You just need Kevin Costner in there to take care of it.
Because Mendoza is the next John Elway. That guy's amazing. He's the next Josh Allen. You heard it here first.
I like it. All right.
Fantastic.
Hopefully he's not the next Tim Tebow. Jason and John, I gave you a variety of that question last time we did the rundown, but let's talk about like specific personnel moves. If you're the Ravens, you're the GM of the Ravens, you're Eric DaCosta. What is one move this offseason that you think is the most crucial move?
John, you want to go first?
I think we got to get a pass rush. We got to figure out what's going on with Matabike, and we got to get a freaking pass rush.
Give me more specifics. Who do you want? What do you need to get?
I think we need to get somebody in through the draft. I think we need to get a young guy who can either plug that middle of Matabike's out or can complement Mike Green and get another young pass rusher for the opposite side.
Okay. Jason?
I think they need to trade for a top-notch pass rusher. I don't know if that's a Crosby, whoever that might be. Somehow not have to give up all of your picks and then draft interior defensive tackles high up in the draft and probably sign another one. Trenches, Mike. Trenches. Guards. Bring me all of them.
Like Trey Hendrickson, maybe? Is that a name?
Yeah. I mean, that would be one I would 100% be in on that. Because, look, Cincinnati doesn't care about, like, their rivalry isn't with us. They don't care. Like, go get that guy.
You want Myles Garrett?
Yes, I do. But I don't want to give you 3 first-round picks and a 4th.
No, we'll take that.
Because we're not that close.
We'll just take 2 first-round picks. And
yes, I would do that. I would do that. Well, here now we got a problem.
All right, boys. Let's switch gears to baseball. Does the Orioles pitching staff have enough quality to win a World Series if they head into the season as it is currently constructed? Jim, why don't you start again? I want to hear your Orioles thoughts.
No. Short answer. Long answer is I like what they've done. I like who's the guys coming back, but to put a pitcher up against the top teams in the AL to win that game that matters to get you over the hump, to face the Dodgers and then lose, is not out there. It's not out there, and it's not something we have. I mean, you guys could tell me Kyle Bradish is going to come back to his ace form, but that's an if. You could tell me Taylor or Rogers,
Tyler.
Tyler Rogers is going to continue his dominance of last year, but
Trevor. It's like Tyler, right? I agree to that.
But they're all ifs. They're all ifs. We don't have an ace, so no.
John?
I think there's too many question marks. Rogers and Bods, if he's actually as good as, he's only had one full year of big league experience in a minor league ballpark. Bradish, is he going to come back? So I think there's too many question marks. We need to get a frontline starter somewhere.
I mean, the frontline starter is such a weird thing. Like, what do you mean frontline starter? Number one, because again, we've talked about this. There are no number ones out there. Framber Valdez is not a number one. Okay. There's twos out there. Framber, 2 or 3. Gallen, 2 or 3, probably a 3. Yeah, Mike, it's not enough. They need to do something, whether it's a trade or whatnot. No, because I don't think Eflin's going to start the season. And even if they do, they still need more weapons there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you guys. Mike Tomlin's 53 years old. Will he coach again in the NFL, and when? Why don't we reverse it, Jason? Can we start with you?
Yeah, so it's hard. It's going to be up to him. I mean, they're whoever. I mean, he's got his pick of the litter now. It kind of reminds me a little of the Gruden situation, where it's like, although they were lining up for him, and then he, I think, wanted to get back into it. My gut says he will coach again. I do think he needs a little bit of a break. I think a lot of stuff wore on him over the years, like it did Harbaugh. If I had to guess, I'd say 2 years. I said he takes 2 years off. He'll be back.
All right, John.
I would say the same thing. I think he'll be out for 2 years because he's got 1 year left on his contract or a non-compete or whatever for till 27. So I think he'll hit the broadcast booth for a couple of years, and then I think he'll be back out looking for a job in 28, 29.
Jimbo?
I think he's going to be I'm going to go with the team too. I think he's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles head coach in 2027.
Oh, Lord.
Man, I love it. I love the bold prediction. Sirianni's out, huh?
I think he's done after next year.
Oh, man.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a contender like that, because certainly that would be appealing to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to the Browns. That's for sure.
The Browns fan, Jim. All right. So the biggest difference maker this NFL championship weekend, it is not a quarterback. So I want you guys to give me one playmaker that you think will make a difference in the conference championship games. Let's start with John.
Oh, geez. What is his name? What is his
Jesus
name?
could be a playmaker. He is.
Jesus. No, it's going to be Shaheed. I think Rashid Shaheed is going to make a big difference in that game. Going to come up with a big kick return or punt return, some special teams play. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, I think. And I think it's going to come down to something like that.
A la Jacoby Jones, maybe in the Ravens playoff run that they had.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason, what do you think?
Devin Witherspoon. Devin Witherspoon with Seattle on Puka Nacua. I think that, there's so much, like, it also depends on the pass rush, but if you're going to leave a guy out on the island, I think if they can keep Puka under wraps, they win that football game. That's my
Jim.
I'm going Stephon Diggs. I think he's looked great in the postseason, and they're going to need him to be a wide receiver 1 to beat that defense.
That's a good one. Good old Maryland alum, Stephon Diggs.
Sure.
So which leads me to, speaking of college, the Indiana Hoosiers just won the college football national championship, which I don't think those words would ever probably come out of my mouth. Give me another sports equivalent, like that would be equal to Indiana winning the NCAA football national championship. So, like, what would be comparable to that in another sport in some type of way?
Ooh, pick me. Pick me.
Go ahead, Jay.
Jim, I love you, but the Cleveland Browns winning the Super Bowl. No, I'm just kidding. The Colorado Rockies winning the World Series.
There you go.
Oh, this is something that hasn't happened yet.
Well, and that the odds are not in your favor.
I thought you meant like it's happened in the past. Like
no, like Jamaica winning the bobsled.
No,
yeah, Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Anything. It could be anything like that. Like, what would the comparable?
Like Jim, the Philippines winning the gold medal in like rhythmic gymnastics. You know,
it could happen.
John, you got one for us?
Yeah, I think Team USA men's hockey team winning the gold medal. I don't think that's going to happen. That ain't going to happen. There's no prayer.
See, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say what I was going to say. I was going to say the World Cup.
Oh, that's 100% correct. That's
a good one.
100%.
I thought you were going to steal mine. I was like, damn.
John.
I didn't think about that, man.
But John, it can't be that equivalent because the U.S. men have finished second several times. Like, that's not the same. They've been in the championship game. Like Indiana, I would have had Maryland winning 2 national championships in football before I had Indiana.
Oh, I know. I got one. University of Minnesota basketball team winning the.
There you go. Attaboy. Well done.
They play at a place called the Barn. So,
Mike, do you have one?
Yeah, I was kind of trying to think about it. But
Towson University winning the NCAA tournament.
Oh man, how about them making it to like a Final Four or like an Elite Eight? Let's just be real
like a George Mason run.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
A Bryce Drew, Valparaiso.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but Valpo lost. Valpo lost their next game after that, though. Like George Mason, out of the same conference as Towson University, went on to the Final Four that year and beat that UConn team, what was just insane.
If Towson played Maryland this year, I'm pretty sure Towson would beat them.
No, don't tell me that. You know, my heart.
Maryland. Did you watch that game?
I did.
Unfortunately, watched it. I should have taken the points. It was 18.
So, real quick, I think I figured my equivalent now would be the Washington Wizards winning the NBA title.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Jim, which Baltimore Raven would you, besides Lamar Jackson, want to see in a Browns uniform the most?
You can have the kicker. You can have him. He's yours. I'll actually drive him there.
I don't know. You guys aren't as good as you used to be. Hold on. Let me think. I mean, your center is a free agent. I'll take him. We need a new center. Tyler Linderbaum or whatever his name is.
Yeah, might have to fight off the Giants for him. I think Harbaugh wants to bring him up to New York.
I want him. Can we have him?
How about Kyle Hamilton, Jim?
That's what I would have said.
We already got a good defense.
Derrick Henry, maybe? No.
We already got a running back. I'm not thinking. I guess I'm thinking this wrong. I'm thinking, what holes do we need to fill? You said I couldn't take the quarterback, so
that's true. Very
good
point.
At the line.
Well, Jason and John, I have the opposite question for you. Which Cleveland Brown would you love to see in a Baltimore Ravens uniform?
It's not Myles Garrett.
And we're not allowed to choose.
That is not Myles Garrett. Sorry, because Lamar was off limits for the Browns, so Myles Garrett is off limits.
Schlesinger.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was their best draft pick in years.
Rookie of the year, baby.
Him up.
Yeah, it'd be mine too, for sure. I'll be boring. I'll take the same guy.
Maybe Judkins. Yeah. I could see Judkins being second.
Yeah, but Judkins might not be the same. Didn't he really tear that knee up? Like,
Well, so did Adrian Peterson. So I mean, there's a bunch of guys who.
It's not.
Yes, but did you just compare Judkins to Adrian Peterson? Adrian Peterson is a human. He's like a cyborg.
I really liked Jim for a long time, Denzel Ward. I don't know how good he is anymore, but he was an excellent corner for a long time. I think he's still pretty strong. And the other guy I'd throw my name into the hat would be Harold Fannin. He played really well this year. He's a young tight end, and we have aging tight ends right now in our locker room. Once our fellow Isaiah likely parts ways with the Ravens this offseason.
So is a dislocated ankle and fractured fibula, is that worse or better than blown on a knee?
I mean, it's probably better because they're just broken bones, and like dislocations though, like you can tear a bunch of stuff in there too. So it depends if you tore anything.
Yeah.
All right, like I said, it's championship weekend. Which of the Final Four NFL teams is most likely to miss the playoffs next year?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll go with John to start. I like how he's looking at the ceiling. What do you got?
Seahawks.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks are probably all the other teams got strong starting quarterbacks. The Seahawks got Sam Darnold.
All right. Jim?
See, that's interesting. I'm picking the Rams. I think they're the most vulnerable. I think their head coach McVay might leave, especially if they win a Super Bowl. And I think their quarterback. I mean, he's getting older. I just don't. I think that would be my pick.
So I have two thoughts here. Like initially Seattle, but not for John's reasons, but because they're in one of the toughest divisions in football. They won 10 games last year and did not make the playoffs. And so that could very easily happen. I mean, even it came down towards the last couple weeks, like who was going to make it out of that division. But I'm going to say the Rams because I agree with Jim. I think Stafford could hang it up. McVay originally, after they won the last Super Bowl, was thinking about stepping down, but he has been reinvigorated. So that would be mine. I'd say the Rams as well.
Interesting. How good is Drake May? How good is Bo Nix? Are they having outstanding seasons? Is that something they can repeat year in, year out? So both those teams, I think, should be considered as well. I was just curious. The second follow-up question to that is, which one is most likely to find themselves once again in the Final Four next season? The four teams that are in the championships games this year. Jason, let's go in reverse. What do you think of that?
So very interesting. I mean, because to be honest, any of these four teams could go either way, right? I mean, I'd like to see New England. Remember, the first place teams are playing a first place schedule next year too. But I'm going to go with Denver because I think that Denver has improved every single year under Sean Payton, and I see no reason why that would stop.
Jim? Jim, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Jim.
I don't see why Denver, wouldn't do it again. But after the year Drake Mays had, I can't not pick the Patriots to be my number one choice there. I think they got, again, the best coach and the best quarterback.
John?
I was going to say Denver, just basically for the same reasons Jason was. I mean, they just have improved every year under Peyton, and now they got their quarterback and everything in line, assuming he comes back healthy and, without problems. We should be good.
All right. Oh, my gosh. We have John, you want to announce that?
Steve says, I have breaking news. Deion Sanders will be the next coach of the Cleveland Browns. Steve is a loyal live stream listener.
You know what? That might be the only way to get everything out of, Shador. Just have him come in for a year, see what he could do while we wait for a better coaching candidate for next year. Meanwhile,
you say to get everybody out the door or out of Shador?
Maybe the Browns will suck so bad, we'll get the number one pick, and then we can get, my knight in shining armor, Archie Manning, and then we'll be, winning championships left and right.
Oh
know?
boy.
I could dream. Sorry, I was dreaming. I just woke up. What happened?
Oh my gosh.
All right. I got two left. One's quick. One. Maryland Terps basketball. They're bad right now. They're really struggling, as expected, but blown out by 40 at Michigan State today. It feels embarrassing a little bit for a classic program to be kind of destroyed like that. And is that acceptable or not, considering the circumstances of the current season? Is it acceptable to lose to Michigan State by 40? Jason?
I mean, the easy answer is no, right? Like, it's absolutely not acceptable. But again, these are 18 to 21-year-old kids, right? I mean, this season was over for them weeks ago. Some of them are done basketball after this year. So it's tough. It reminds me of the year that, it was a Jameer Young's senior year, like last year. That team just kind of went through the motions, right? It was Kevin Willard's year before, Derek Queen, and all of those guys. That's what this reminds me of. It's funny because Jim made a comment about the Terps, and I was just thinking that, like, oh, they're keeping receipts because this won't happen again. This is it. Get your licks in this year because it's, I think, finally next year when they have everything going, I think you'll see a completely different program next year.
Jim, how
I
about
agree
your
with-
thoughts?
Well, I mean, if you ever seen the movie We Are Marshall, that's kind of what happened to the Terps when Willard abandoned us, took our team. You know, I think Derek Queen might have even stayed another year if he stayed because he was talking about it. I remember getting upset with the media saying, "Oh, you're going to be, a pick and a lottery pick in the draft." He's like, "I don't even know if I'm going yet." I don't think he wanted to leave. I think he would have stayed if Willard was still here, but he abandoned us. He was the plane in Marshall that took down our team. Now, if you watch that movie, we're trying to rebuild with a bunch of redshirt freshmen, a bunch of, guys that Buzz brought over from Texas Tech, right? And then
No, Texas A&M.
Texas
And
and the best guy he brought over, the one that was supposed to lead our team, went down in the beginning of the year. So, I don't. It's not a surprise that they lost by 40. I think the bigger surprise is that we're gonna have to. It's not a surprise, but the biggest, I guess, headache is that we're gonna have to put up with this for the next year. But there are
Acceptable or not, though, Jim?
no. It's totally acceptable because the plane went down, and we are Marshall.
Okay. John, sorry I interrupted you last time. John, go ahead. Give us your opinion.
I mean, I kind of figured this was the way the season was going to go because we're just on this side of going to intramural games and grabbing the best players off of the intramurals. I mean, it was like that year that it was Texas Tech had to have an open tryout because they didn't have enough women to play on the women's team. So you kind of expect this, but you look at our class for next year. We have at least one 5-star. We have some good guys coming in, some one and done type players who are going to be coming in. So I think it's kind of one of those just kind of brush it off and let the year slide.
All right, last question. We have between 8 and 12 inches of snow predicted up here in Maryland overnight. You guys in Florida, it's probably cold, but you're not getting snow. Think back
It's 80
to when
degrees, Mike. It's 80 degrees.
You jerks. You think back to your snow days in Maryland. Okay, what was your favorite thing to do when it snowed, and what was your favorite maybe food, drink, or something that you made with your family when you guys had a snow day, either as a kid or as an adult? It really doesn't matter.
Now, Mike, those are two different things here, my friend. Because once I got of legal drinking age or in college, snow days were fabulous. Let me tell you. I mean, it was like, how many out of this 30 pack can you drink in a day? It was a great time. Big fan. But probably growing up as a kid, it was like just going to the giant hills near the house, and every kid from the neighborhood was there. It was awesome. It was a good time with those old little rickety plastic sleds that you bought that are so unsafe, but so much fun.
John?
It was going over to the Hartford Hills, the middle school over there, had a huge hill, and it was so nice because it had steps. So it was probably about 50 yards long, but then you had steps to walk up. And so that was, we build jumps and take those like blow up inner tube things down there, and you know that was the most fun. And again, it's not terribly cold in Maryland, so you know it was all fun. And then just drink. I don't even remember like hot chocolate and stuff. And then now as you're of age, you put some Fireball in there, and it makes you warm and toasty on the inside.
Jim?
Let's see. As a child, I think it was snowball fights we did at Igloo in '94 when we had that kind of the same storm, a big like 12-incher and then a bunch of ice on top. So that was fun. College, it was doing wheelies in the parking lot in the snow and drinking with Jason. Obviously, bar hopping in the snow was always fun. So those are 3 good memories.
Fantastic. Mike?
Oh, for me, I mean, it's funny because I thought back to my childhood, but like I grew up in the city, but not like, not city, but, outskirts, Hamilton, Baltimore City. But there wasn't much green to sled on. I mean, Herring Run Park, we would go there. But like in my neighborhood, when I remember one particular winter, it iced over. It wasn't really snow. And we had an alley that came out the back, and we would go down the alley. But whenever you're sledding in the city, you got to have a lookout. Like you'd have to have somebody at the bottom of the street who was yelling whether or not the car would come. And I can remember just thinking back how stupid I was just to believe that another kid was really in charge of my life at the bottom of that hill.
Outstanding. I love it. All right. Well, that is the rundown. So against my better judgment, John's up next with our favorite segment. And he did promise to keep it short because we are running low on time or short on time, whatever you kids say nowadays. John in left field, take it away.
All right. So let's reset this timeline. A factual hinge with an alternate outcome. So the real history. On November 6, 1995, Art Modell stunned the city of Cleveland. After a loss to the Oilers, he announced the franchise was relocating to Baltimore. The NFL ultimately suspended the Browns franchise and awarded the Browns an expansion team in 1999. However, in our alternate history, the Browns didn't move in 1995. To start the 1995 season in real life, they won 3 of 4 and were considered to be Super Bowl contenders. However, after the announcement, they went 1-7 for the remainder of the season. So we're going to fast forward to the 1999 NFL draft. Baltimore has an expansion team. And instead of drafting Tim Couch and putting him behind an offensive line that has more holes than the capital of Switzerland, we will select Edgerrin James from the University of Miami with the first overall pick. So in our alternate arc, Baltimore doesn't get to relocate in 96. So they're getting the first overall pick. So in 99, we take Edgerrin James. The following year, they select Chris Samuels, left tackle from Alabama. Then following another desolate season, they draft Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore before Lamar Jackson in Baltimore at the top of the 2001 NFL draft. As the team improves, we're keeping Vick away from the Canines. They start to win and move back in the draft. In 2002, the 2002 NFL draft, the Ravens select end Dwight Freeney from Syracuse and trade up for Hall of Famer Ed Reed. They start to win, so as they select later and later in the draft, they select Dallas Clark, tight end, University of Iowa, to give Vick a big body target and help with the run game. The next season, it's the Storm again, and they select big man from the U, Hurricanes legend Vince Wilfork, to anchor the center of their defensive line to go with Freeney. The Ravens make the playoffs in 2005 and select Oklahoma wide receiver Mark Clayton, just like the real Ravens did. As they continue to make the playoffs and improve, 2006, Santonio Holmes from The Ohio State University. 2007, offensive tackle Joe Staley, Central Michigan. 2008, lightning fast Chris Johnson to pair with Edgerrin James. And 2009, outside linebacker Clay Matthews, USC. By 2010, they are perennials in the playoffs, and they win their first Super Bowl. For Browns fans, however, the legacy of futility continues. After the 95 season, they fire Belichick and bring in who knows who. Vinny sticks around for a few more years, but Cleveland being Cleveland doesn't draft 2 future Hall of Famers in the first round of the 96 NFL draft like the Ravens did. After Vinny, they bring in another quarterback, a couple running backs, and who knows, maybe even end up with Tim Couch again in 1999. The futility in Cleveland continues. They build Modell a new stadium to keep him happy, but eventually he sells the team, and the futility continues. You bring in guys like Johnny Manziel, and the dumpster fire song continues. Except, starting in 1999, you're starting way farther back.
Tied at my Tim Couch, Dougie P, Phillies coach Tim Couch back again. Then they drafted Spurgeon Wynn, Kelly Holcomb, Luke McCown, Jeff Garcia came to town, Dilbert, Charlie Fry, all of them went bye-bye. Anderson and Brady Quinn, lots of guys who didn't win. Ken Dorsey, Gradkowski, and we're halfway done. Jake DeLong, Colt McCoy, Seneca, unemployed, Thad, Lewis Weed in 5-win seasons. Austin Davis, Josh McCown, yes they've had 2 McCown, Shaw, Hoyer, Campbell, it's Manziel. Whitehurst, Kessler, RG3 on IR, and probably as I sing this song they're gonna find another one. The Browns are a dumpster fire. You can be their QB, but only briefly. The Browns are a dumpster fire. You know the season's done when they're in week 1, 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 week 1. The Browns are a dumpster fire.
And that's out in left field.
Let me do that again in case you didn't hear it the first time. Way to insult our guest. I don't see you bringing anybody on here. Gosh, loyal listeners and everyone, shame on you, John. You're in timeout. Jim, I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
It's not the first time. It's just
John
my
doesn't
hatred.
speak for everybody, Jim. John doesn't speak for all of us.
My hatred for the Ravens just grows more. It's like, you know.
I thought I had him understanding us, and now look at you. You guys threw him back.
Let me, yeah, right. I was trying to be nice, but let me explain this to you. Before the curse of the Ratbirds, in '95, you're right. We were projected to win the Super Bowl in '94 too, I think, before the strike.
Mm-hmm.
But
right,
we had one of the winningest teams. We had a great history, you know, with, you know, I mean, you can count all the unreal, you know, players, the records, everything spoke for themselves. Once that happened, and that switch was, you know, one of the worst parts of my childhood happened, you know, I think we were cursed. That's the only way I can explain it. We got a shitty owner in Randy Lerner. We got, you know, a shitty situation. We lost Peyton Manning by 1 year. I tell people all this all the time. I don't mind. I never minded the draft of Tim Couch. And you know, he's a serviceable quarterback that just got injured. He got injured way too much. Would have Donovan McNabb been better? Sure. Hindsight's 50-50, but you got to draft a quarterback there. What I'm trying to say is I don't think your projections of left field are all adequate, because if what you say is true, then the Browns would have never left, so the curse would have never happened, so we wouldn't have been a dumpster fire. That's what I got to say about that.
That a boy, Jim. That a boy. You know what?
Rebuttals, John. Rebuttals.
When you're down, you just come up fighting. There you go. Screw you, John. Well done.
Yeah,
Jim,
No more speaking, John. I am so sorry. You do not get to speak.
but
Nope. Nope. So anyway, we are going to now go to bring things back to lightheartedness and not whatever John just did. We are going to play a quick game. All three of you are allowed to play. I will be asking the questions, but I think you all will find this fun, especially you, Jim, because this is our one segment that we do every once in a while. This is called Guess the Year. So something current events, usually something Baltimore related, and special for you, something Cleveland related. So to kick it off, I would need you guys to tell me the year. First clue, The Lion King was #1 at the box office. Are you all ready to guess now?
Mm.
But if you get it,
early
if you-
90s, like 94-ish, John, something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I was gonna say. Are we playing together?
yes,
Yeah.
all of you.
Okay, I think it was 94 because
That's
Pocahontas was the year after in 95.
I'm leaning that way too, but I'm not 100%.
Jimmy?
Closer. Are you ready to guess, or do you need more clues? Jim,
We need Jim to unmute himself and help us out.
Anyway, I think it was 93. That's my guess.
Okay.
Oh,
Go
he's
ahead.
saying 93. All right. You want another clue?
Yes, please.
Orioles closer Lee Smith leads the majors with 33 saves.
Well, 94 was the strike year, so
Yeah, so that's not very many saves. So I would assume it's 94.
well,
We'll say 94.
You still got one more
Jim, how do you-
clue.
Jim, how do you feel about that? Or is that too many saves for a strike shortened season?
I think it's too many.
It's either 94 or 95.
I have concerns. I'd rather have. It's not 95.
I think it's
Okay.
You
93.
don't think?
All right. The Cleveland Browns under Bill Belichick won 11 games and won their first round game in the playoffs.
94. 100%. 100%. 94.
Yes, I'm going to mute John so others can talk. Tim?
Can we just call him Rayman?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Definitely John.
He's got to go to Kmart and get his underwear.
Definitely 94. Definitely.
All right. Guess is 1994.
Yeah, sure.
You are correct. Well done.
As I was doing my research for the out in left field, I read that.
All right. So the next one. Tell me the year Bob Barker signed off of Price is Right for the last time.
Oh man.
I feel like I just read this.
Was it 09?
Wait, do we get more?
That's when Drew Carey took over, right?
I feel like
Right.
Mike. I feel like he's guessing and like looking for like me to like respond with the guesses here. Maybe just keep it to yourself or discuss with your teammates.
He's checking your facial features to make sure you're not giving anything away.
I don't know why 2007 is what I want to say on this, but 9's not bad.
We're gonna
guess.
need more than one clue, probably, Jim.
So-
I would
Browns wide receiver Braylon Edwards finished second in the NFL with 16 touchdown receptions.
Was he a
Bonus
rookie?
points. Bonus points if you tell me who finished second or who he finished second to.
Probably Megatron.
Probably wrong, John.
So
Steve Smith.
sorry, Jason. Braylon Edwards did what? Second in what?
16 touchdown receptions was good for second
Mm.
overall.
I want to say that was 2007 because that was the year that they went to the play or almost went to the playoffs with
That was Brady
Derek
Quinn. Brady
Anderson.
Quinn was the quarterback, right?
No, Derek Anderson.
All right, last clue. The Ravens finished 5-11, and Brian Billick was fired at season's end.
It was
Oh,
2007.
you're right,
That was
Jimmy.
2007.
Yeah.
Correct, fellas. Correct. Well done.
Yep.
All right. All right, hold on. I screwed this one up here. I gotta change this real quick. Okay. Let's do for this one because I think John will possibly get that one right off the bat, and I don't like it when that happens. So, first question. The Browns drafted Barcavius Mingo, number 6 overall.
He's a Georgia product, I believe, right?
Yes.
Such a bad pick.
Is that 2011?
We've had so many bad picks. I don't even know the year.
I need more.
Okay.
Yeah.
O's third baseman Manny Machado led the majors with 51 doubles.
So we're looking at like 20,
14 or
13,
15.
14, something like that. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me think. Which years the Browns drafted a quarterback?
The 2014 they took Johnny Manziel 22nd.
Yeah, so it wasn't 14.
I
'Cause
think, I think Mingo was before Manziel.
I think Mike 13, Mike,
Yeah, I think
Jim.
12 or 13 was Mingo.
The Boston Marathon bombing also.
Oh, that was 13.
14,
13.
13, yeah.
Jim
13.
is correct. It is 2013. All right. Well done, fellas. You got all three of them. I'm impressed. Well done. All right. That was Guess the Year. I had the next segment I had on here real quick was the Orioles. Not a whole lot to talk about that we haven't already covered, other than they need another starting pitcher. For me, it's Gallen or Framber. If you're going to sign someone, I'd love to see who's out there in the trade market. I know how Jim feels. Jim wants Tarek Skubal, wants to mortgage everyone. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm okay. I will say this. I am okay with them going into the year with this pitching because I think we're going to be decent. I think we're going to compete. I think the young guys are going to get better. These pitchers have a lot to offer. And then the trade deadline, please, for the love of God, go get Tarek Skubal. Hopefully, Detroit's awful at that point. That's my plan. If not, find another, trading resource. Go get an ace. Put us over the top. It doesn't have to be all season. With what's left out there, I kind of don't want it to be. I don't want Framber Valdez. He's very, in my opinion, just a bad apple. You don't want it in your clubhouse. That's why Houston's trying to give him away. Take him. We don't want him. We don't want that.
I do think that the Orioles are interested in Framber Valdez. I do not think that the Orioles are interested in him at the price, at the 6-year mark, at even maybe the 5-year mark. It sounds to me that like if there were a deal to get done, that it would be an opt-out after the first year. It would be an opt-out maybe after the second year or something like that, because that seems to be what's going on with these pitchers. So if they could sign him for $25 million with an opt-out after the first year, by all means. I think I'd be on board for that. But I don't think the Orioles, nor do I want to hamstring myself to 5 years or 6 years on a pitcher, especially one like that.
We do need something, and I thought it was interesting they were talking about bringing on Verlander. I don't mind that pickup just to have that veteran leadership to add an 8th pitcher to a rotation. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
It's funny. I talked to somebody that has dealt with agents in the past in Major League Baseball, and ironically enough in football as well. And he said that it's funny because when somebody says checked in on a player, it's really just a phone call like, hey, would he be interested? All right, good. Hey, right, no. And then that is the end of it. So don't just, whenever you read these things of like so-and-so might be interested, just know it's kind of a grain of salt that you have to think about it because it's really not that much. Mike, anything you would like to add, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Framber, like, disgruntled thing is a little bit overblown. Like I'd be down with Framber. I'd be down with 5 years of Framber. I'm down with all of that. So I think the Orioles are not in a position really to be too picky, and I worry that they feel like they now have the leverage on their side because all these other teams have signed these other pitchers where you and I both know, Jason, the more it kind of draws out, the more you feel like another team is going to swoop in here and just kind of grab him. And then, they need to at least think about pivoting to the trade market. I don't think they're ready going into the season with what they have currently constructed on their roster. And I don't think like a Verlander type is the answer alone. But I do think, Jim, I like we've been saying for years, the veteran presence in the clubhouse is important. And a guy like Verlander who's done that and been there is important. I would love to see him in addition to something else that's legitimate.
John, or Jim, you're muted again. Jim, you're muted.
I have 2 ways to mute, and Anyway, no, I agree. But I like the Verlander presence for leadership, especially in that rotation that we desperately need. Some guy that can just present like a leadership quality to the clubhouse. I mean, that's my main issues. There's just a lot of ifs. Like, who else besides Framer, say we don't get him, is out there really besides a trade? Like, I've always brought up Joe Ryan as a guy I'd love to have that I think would be a great ace to have. I just want somebody I could throw up against, the Dylan Ceases and Garrett Crochets of the AL East.
It's funny though. Like, I've been saying this for weeks now, that I do think they're going to make another move, but I don't think it's going to be anybody that we've been talking about. Again, that's how the Orioles have been doing things. They're so hush hush. Nothing gets leaked out of Oriole camp. And I just wonder if the move, I'm not so sure about Minnesota, because I'm not convinced Minnesota's ready to they have new ownership now, like I've been saying. I don't think they're ready to deal any of those pitchers. Seattle has came out and said they're not interested in getting rid of any of their pitchers because they're not paying any of them yet. None of them are up for contracts. Why would they do that? There's some interesting things. Like, I mean, I do think that something might come out of the woodwork that we haven't been thinking about. But I'm not convinced that they're done. And I don't know. John, do you have anything you want to add before we move on to our last segment?
Nope.
Oh, that's terrific. That's the best news of the day. Okay. Mike, you have a final game for us to play this evening.
Yeah, and I'm going to kind of shorten it up a little bit for everybody, but it's just basically some Bravens trivia. Bravens meaning a mix of Browns and Ravens because of our special guest, Jim, tonight. So I'm going to ask you guys a few trivia questions together as a group, and you guys just see if you can come up with the answers. We'll just keep it simple. Got it?
Got it.
All right. After spending, I'll go easy to start, and then we'll ease into some more difficult ones. After spending 11 seasons as the face of the Ravens and winning the Super Bowl, this Super Bowl MVP had a renaissance in 2023 with the Browns, leading them to the playoffs.
Joe Flacco.
Beautiful. A cornerstone of the Ravens' 2000 Super Bowl win, a 2,000-yard rusher, moved to Cleveland in 2007, where
Jamal
he posted
Lewis.
back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Yes, Jamal Lewis.
Wait, we're not playing against each other, right? We're playing together.
Nope, we're just working together, getting the answers. He was the Browns starter in the mid-'90s and became the first ever starting quarterback for the Ravens in 1996.
Vinny Testaverde.
Very good.
That guy.
All right. A more recent addition to the list of both Ravens and Browns. This gentleman revitalized his career in Cleveland in 2021 and 22 before jumping to Baltimore in 23, where he had one of his most productive sack seasons.
Wow.
Oh, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, Clowney.
Excellent. Well done. All right, so those were kind of like the layups. Now we're going to move on to the next level. This one's Super Bowl survivors. By the time the Ravens won Super Bowl 35 in January of 2001, most of the original Cleveland players were gone. Only 3 players from the 1995 Cleveland Browns roster were still on the team to win that championship. Who were they?
Matt Stover, OJ Brigance, and Jim. Anybody else on that roster?
Rob Burnett.
Rob Burnett. Yes.
Very good. All right, 5 quarterbacks. Name 5 quarterbacks that played for both the Ravens and Browns franchises. There are 8 that I have listed.
Joe Flacco, Tyler Huntley,
Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny Testaverde,
Eric Zier.
and one more, Jim. You got any more?
RG3.
Yes, correct.
All right, can you guys finish the list that I had comprised? And this is not necessarily comprehensive, but I had at least 8 down here.
Is it Derek?
Did Tyrod Taylor play for you guys, Jim?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That's one. Yep.
Derek Anderson, was he on the Ravens?
Derek Anderson played. Derek Anderson on the Ravens? For some reason, I thought he was on
Practice
the Ravens.
squad, I think, maybe.
I think, yeah, because he was on the team. I think he was on the Ravens in some way, shape, or form.
And Bailey Zappi had a similar experience,
What
I
about-
believe, too, where he
What
might have
about
been on the
Colt
practice.
McCoy? Was he on the Ravens?
Mm-mm.
No, he's on the Redskins.
There's so many Browns quarterbacks, so this could take a while.
Well, I named half of them for you, Jim.
Ugh.
That's 8.
No, but those were practice squad. Those aren't even the ones that Mike has on his list.
Mm.
Mike, do you have a clue for us?
Let me see. I have one on here that's played for a lot of NFL teams.
McCown?
No, Fitzgerald? No, he was a
Who's the
Raven.
dude? Who's the one guy that played for us? The black quarterback that's played for like everyone.
Win?
No. Recently. Also played the year that Lamar got hurt.
Yep,
Oh,
you're online.
gosh. Oh, what's his name?
Seneca Wallet? No.
No, John. It was oh my gosh, why can't I think of this guy's name? He played for the 49ers. He's played for everybody. He played this year. He started for someone this year.
Oh, Josh Johnson.
Yes. Josh
Yes.
Johnson, correct.
Well done,
Josh
boys.
Johnson.
Well done.
Yeah. Is that it?
All right, last question.
Oh, nice.
And this is nothing. Well, you know what? That's it. That's good enough. You guys did a good job. I don't want to hang you out. That's good enough. Well done.
Oh man.
Oh, you don't
Ravens
think we could do
Browns
it,
trivia.
huh? Don't think we
Yeah,
could
you
No,
don't
I
think we
did-
could do it? What's
No,
wrong
it's
with you?
just it's switching gears. I don't think it fits as well.
You're going to play another dumbass Billy Joel, thing on me about the Browns? Is that what you're going to
No, I have no dumpster fire songs. Nothing
do? Yeah.
in those lines.
All right. Well, I must apologize for John. I don't know how many times I have to do it, but I'm going to do it again. All right. Well,
Jim, it's all in good fun, man. We love you. I just am disappointed I haven't got any calls lately to help you with your life.
I've been taking ratbird crap for 26 years.
well, why would he call you to help him? You did a great job a few minutes ago. Well done,
You
John.
just put me back. Now I can tell my therapist to put mom on hold for a while. I got a whole new slew of issues.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, Jim, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. It was a good time. It was fun, even despite John. But yeah, we will. So I guess we will be trying to get on sometime next week. We'll let y'all know. But for John Lanscraner, Mike Frisky, and Jim Isphording, I'm Jason Weisbecker. You guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you later.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.